You think back generation, and you think back to the way that people had to live just to get food on the table, just to have a safe roof over their house. And it's not that hard to understand why our bodies are in that survival mode, even though we don't have all of those same struggles that the ancestors that came before us have, but we carry all of those patterns within us. And and it it gives us this space. I remember when I was coming into my awareness, I always used to say, like, when my anxiety would come, it felt like I was being chased by a tiger. And I knew there wasn't any tigers. I sell plumbing supplies for a living. Like, I was being chased by plumbing supplies, but they felt like tigers. And it's all about reframing and understanding that, again, to your point, that those are old patterns and things that are carried in our body that may not even be ours. And the only way to sort of break free from that feeling is to when you're feeling it, to pause and do the thing that feels opposite of what your body is trying to tell you to do, which is run from a tiger when there's not even a tiger chasing you.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And our bodies don't know what's real or imagined. So if we think it, we feel it. And like the example, right, like that I always give is like, if I ask you to suck on the most sour lemon you've ever tasted in your whole life and you have it in your hand and you were to just go and take a bite, like what happens? Right? Like we have a visceral response. We start to pucker up, we salivate, we maybe tense up because we're waiting for this lemon because our mind just told us you're about to get a lemon and our body responded. And so how does our body respond when we think of a negative experience, when we think of like being anxious, if we think about things that make us depressed, how does our body attune and respond to ourselves in those moments? Because it's telling our bodies what to do, how to think, and what is attached. And so it's again, it's the unlearning of these things, because our mind isn't always correct. Again, like we don't know what's real or imagined. So if we think it, we feel it. And so we have this ability to start separating out the thoughts in our head that are not necessarily real. I think of it as like the bunny. Like I always tell the bunny story too. Like you see a bunny outside, and it's like eating grass and it's like having a good time, and it sees a hawk. And the bunny stops its digestive system, it stops its reproductive system, because if it has to run really fast, it's storing all of that energy, right, to run super fast. When the hawk flies away, the bunny doesn't just stand there like blink, blink, and like not know what to do. The bunny returns back to normal and starts eating again, starts hopping around. But like we as humans, we like get triggered and we just like stay in this, again, automatic default mode, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Our digestive system doesn't talk to maybe our endocrine system. Again, this is where like different ailments come in, because our body is not talking to each other, because it is storing that energy in case it has to run really fast. And so again, this is like, I think about the first breath. I don't even know, like the first breath I really took, not in that fight, flight, freeze, or fawn mode, right? Like that, when the first breath of like, oh my God, I can be present, I can be mindful, and I can be in this like open heart, and how my body just responded, to that.